I had a client who was infertile for 1 decade. She had decided that her body could not have children because she was trying and it was not happening. And by the end of our time together, she called me up to let me know she was pregnant. And the only change was waking up every morning and saying, I am so grateful for this body. And when she started doing that, all the toxic relationships she had in her life just fell away. Like the people who she was hanging out with, even though she did not feel good about it, she started to keep distance. And that's all her body needed. And she delivered a healthy baby. And I have a picture of her baby, and it's just the most incredible story. So I am a huge believer. I love communicating with the universe. I was a very shy, introverted homemaker 10 years ago. From that, putting myself out on social media and doing all this has come only through asking the universe to show me the signs. And the universe just shows signs after signs when it's the right thing for us. Thank you and welcome to each and every one of you. You're all precious and you're going to be held through these days. Today, we're going to look at the 21 sacred dinacharya. First, I have to tell you where these secret dinacharyas came from. In the Ayurveda books, there are over 600 dinacharyas. We Vedic people were into very disciplined lives for everything and anything. Today, we are living a completely different life from what somebody may have lived 10,000 years ago, right? In today's world, we need the best and the most effective and the ones we can do right away for maximum juice, maximum benefit without wasting time because we are so stressed. The stress levels are off the charts for us. And that itself creates maximum amount of inflammation, pain, crazy thoughts in our mind, which is very hard to get over. What does this mean? Do we know Vata, Pitta, Kapha? Vata, Pitta, Kapha. That is the energy of movement, is the energy of space, it's the energy that governs our nervous system. When Vata is very high, our nervous system is going to start breaking down. It's going to be overwhelmed. We wake up, we feel anxiety. What does that mean? Our nervous system was overwhelmed before we went to sleep. And when we woke up, our nervous system did not recover so well because our liver was sluggish. We did not sleep very well. We were tossing and turning. We have restless syndrome, restless leg syndrome. We were sleeping next to a partner who was snoring very loudly. Or we have disturbances because we are stressed about the meeting tomorrow, something like that. And our body did not properly take care of that stress that was already there in the system. Ideally, we should have woken up feeling like a baby, happy, smiling. I'm so feeling good. Life is beautiful, chirping like a bird. Let me go get my tea, my coffee, my hot water, whatever it is that you do, right? Or let me give my love to others. But no, we wake up feeling grumpy. Oh, why? Now I have to go do this. I have to deal with that person. Oh my God, I have to drive, right? We wake up with these kind of thoughts, which are ungrateful thoughts. And as we study together, we have the next 3 hours together. We're going to deep dive into why rituals. How is it that they balance Vata, they balance Pitta, they balance Kapha? Pitta, the energy of metabolism, the energy that governs our digestive function. We wake up and we have indigestion, right? Because the dinner last night did not get digested. We wake up feeling heartburn. We wake up feeling, I don't feel good. I don't feel hungry, right? And then we are like, okay, intermittent fasting. I'm going to do intermittent fasting till 1 o'clock today. And then by 1 o'clock comes around and we are like raging, like angry, right? What does this mean? This means irregular hunger. Whereas in a healthy body, hunger should arise at the right time, in the right quantity. We should feel happy when hunger comes. We should have a surge of energy when hunger comes. Why? Because the universe, God, divine, is a very loving force. Even when it gives us hunger, hunger comes as a loving instinct. So it must come with energy to now go look for food, right? We would all die if we were in the forest 10,000 years ago and hunger came like a, oh my God, I can't handle it. I have to eat this. We would all die, right? So that cannot be normal. That is abnormal emotional hunger. How many of us wake up and feel like, oh my God, I have to get out of bed? That is kapha imbalance. Kapha is the dense, heavy earth energy, and it feels like the bed is holding us down. It's so heavy. I can't get out. I cannot leave this bed. I cannot leave this blanket. So when we wake up, we are waking up with imbalance. And this imbalance carries throughout the day because we don't know what to do, how to remedy this throughout the day in a loving manner. Once we have remedied this, I promise you, you are going to wake up with a smile on your face, and even till 11, you can go on without tea, without coffee, because you understand Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a superpower. I have CEOs as my clients. I have NASA scientists who are like handling 700 other NASA scientists. I have them as my clients, and even they use Ayurveda. They use the simplest of Ayurveda. They don't go for like big, long, stretched out protocols because they don't have time. But they use the simplest ones and they have energy to go on. They are able to handle their stress. So this is the secret weapon. All right, my dears. I'm going to run through the 21 rituals one by one, giving you like why do we do these rituals? What is the science behind these rituals? And what will happen to our body if we do these rituals? What kind of energy are they balancing? Are they balancing Vata, Pitta, Kapha? And then based on what you notice in your body, you can heal your body. You don't even need to know your body type. But I can tell you a little bit about your body type. Body type starts from Ayurvedic philosophy of living. Ayurveda comes under the Samkhya philosophy, meaning what I see is what I believe, what I can measure, I study. This is logical, it is reasoning, there is a scientific way to go about life. That's what Ayurveda believes. Ayurveda and yoga are not together. Ayurveda and yoga are two very separate philosophies of living. Yoga used to be for the yogis who have given up worldly life and who are only focused on union with God. Whereas Ayurveda is about living here on earth, living on the hard plane and saying that I am going to be part of this community. I am going to love my family, my spouse, my children, my village, my town, my country, and I'm going to do the best for me based on what is here. I am grateful and blessed that I was born in a human life. The way I am going to serve the divine is by being here and doing my duty as a householder. So, Ayurveda is very much the opposite of yogic philosophy in many ways. However, in the last 150 years, Ayurveda has borrowed from yoga the asanas, the pranayamas, some of the philosophy to help us manage the stress we were talking about before, right? Because stress is off the charts now. So we need these modalities, we need this kind of intersections from other ways of looking at life to manage. However, Ayurveda says that stress is the opposite of love. Love is what binds us together. Love brings a feeling of calm, cool, togetherness, structure, feeling grounded, right? What other words would you say for love? How do you feel when you feel love or when you feel like somebody loves you very much? What do you feel? It gives us a container. If we were like this before, suddenly we start to calm down. It gives us space to hold, and it's a nurturing, protecting space, right? It makes us feel included. When we are excluded, we feel like, oh, I'm like flailing about. I don't feel good. When we walk into a party and we know that maybe somebody was not talking very well about us, we suddenly feel that like we feel it in our bodies, we women, right? We feel like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. I need to get up and get myself in order, right? Love has that ability to hold us, to bind us. Kapha has that same quality. It is the quality that holds us, binds us. So when we feel unloved, is the quality of a vata imbalance. Air, space. I am out of balance. I am now spaced out. I am anxious. I'm feeling it in my heart. My heart is palpitating. Movement. I can't settle down. Movement, too much movement. Vata is spiking. What do? We have to bring in the opposite quality to create that container. We can physically hug ourselves and give ourselves love. Or we can use something like, got all my oils here. Oil. Oil is kapha. Oil will balance vata. Whenever there is a spike in air energy, space energy, we bring in oil to calm ourselves. So applying oils on our hands, on the soles of our feet, a few drops of oil in our mordhani. So we're placing our thumb here and then moving up, and then wherever the middle finger rests, that is the top of our head. That place, if we can put like even a couple of drops of oil. So I'm taking a few drops of oil, applying it there. It's going to help us calm. It's going to bring that energy down. It'll take a few minutes, okay? We can take this and apply it on our hands. We are in a meeting. It's stressful. These are the places from where our energy escapes. And based on modern science, these are the places from where our sweat glands, we have the largest number of sweat glands in our palms and the soles of our feet. So when we have vata escaping from the body, these are the spaces from where energy is escaping out. We don't want that energy to escape out. We want it to stay contained within the body. So by applying a little bit of oil on the soles of our feet, on the palms of our hand, we can contain that energy in our body. It's almost like we have a cup with hot water. It's starting to get cold because it is evaporating. What we do, place the lid on it, and then it will stay warm slightly longer. It's just that principle. Okay? All right. Just as we wake up in the morning, and what do we have in the atmosphere? We wake up in the morning, and what do we experience? What do we see outside? If you go touch a leaf, how will it be in the morning? Fresh, vibrant, cool, moisture. All these you are describing healthy, balanced kapha. Okay. So when the body is slightly cool, it is moisturized, it's hydrated, then it has the quality of the earth element and the water element, and this is called as kapha. When we wake up in the morning, we see the quality of kapha is predominating in the atmosphere. But when we wake up and we have vata, we have imbalanced kapha. When we don't want to leave the bed, that's imbalanced kapha. The leaf looks vibrant and it is ready to open up and receive the sun. So it is balanced kapha. We are imbalanced kapha. When we don't want to wake up and go outside and receive the sun. When we don't want to express love to others. If we were in balance of kapha, we would naturally be expressing love. We would naturally be expressing sneha. Sneha is the word for not just love. Sneha is the word for oil as well in Ayurveda, in Sanskrit. So our ancestors wanted us to be very clear that whenever it is that you feel lack of love in your life, bring some sneha, apply some oil, apply it on your face as a facial oil, in your nabi, in your navel area. If you don't feel comfortable applying it on your body, you don't want to get your clothes dirty, just apply it in your nabi, in your navel. Apply a lot of it in your navel and go to sleep. And in the morning, you will wake up with a lot more settledness in your body. So these are some of the rituals, but the 21 rituals that I'm going to share with you today, I came up with this during the pandemic. I used this for myself first because I am my first test bunny. I make sure that I test it all out on me. I went through a point during the pandemic. We all went through the pandemic. It was not a fun time. For a lot of us, it was being locked up in the house, not being able to be with other people, and getting news of people falling sick. And every day we were watching the news. We were doing all kinds of things that isolated us, that excluded us, right? Cut us off from love. And even now, many of us are suffering from anxiety, the aftermath of that, especially women who are sensitive. So I developed these 21 rituals to take care of my own body. And then I began to share this with my clients, and the results that I spoke to you about, some of them have astounding results. So even though this dinacharya is not very sexy, people don't feel like, oh, dinacharya, I'm going to do it. We don't feel like that, right? But I commend you that you took the call. There were other people who have signed up, but they've not shown up, right? But I commend you for showing up for yourself, because now, once you hear me speak this, I am going to be part of that. You remember your grandma doing something, you remember a friend doing something or teaching something. I am now part of that as well. And when you hear me saying something, monkey see, monkey do, right? We are all communal animals. When we see somebody doing it and saying, hey, this worked out for me, we get influenced. So I'm here to influence you in the positive manner. When we wake up in the morning, if we can wake up in Brahma Muhurta. So the first ritual is Brahma Muhurta. What is this time? Muhurta means it is a time span. If you watch Hindi movies, there's always like when the bride is getting married, the father will be like, Muhurat ka ja raha hai, nikla ja raha hai, right? He says Muhurta. The Muhurta is like, we're getting late. The Muhurta is going to pass. The Muhurta is not one point in time. The Muhurta is 48 minutes in time. When is this Brahma Muhurta? If you look at some of the literature and the people talking about it, they'll just say blindly 4:30 in the morning. It's not true. Ayurveda is not based on what the time is in our clocks or our phones. Ayurveda always is about the time that the sun is telling us about, the celestial bodies are telling us about. So, right now, let's go open a browser and look at your sunrise time. And I'm also going to look at my sunrise time in my phone. You can use your phone as well. Look at your sunrise time. Sunrise time in my city. Okay, I got mine. Mine is at 6:03 a.m. Okay, what is your time? Everybody has ChatGPT?
Absolutely.
Okay, now we are going to look at what is 96 minutes before your time. Okay, so we are going to go to ChatGPT and say, what is 96 minutes before my sunrise time? And then enter your sunrise time there. What is 96 minutes before? So mine is 6:03 a.m. Perfect. So it's told me mine is 4:27 a.m. Okay. Did you get yours too? That is the starting of your Brahma. Okay. Now ask ChatGPT, what is 48 minutes after your time? Mine will be, what is 48 minutes after 4:27? What is 48 minutes after 4:27 a.m.? This is for me. 4:27 to 5:42 is my Brahma Muhurta. I can wake up any time between these two times. When I want to wake up in Brahma Muhurta for my good health. And why should we wake up in Brahma Muhurta? This is the time where there is maximum amount of sattvic energy in the atmosphere. This is, if we wake up in Brahma Muhurta and go out, what we do? We feel the wind is blowing very gently, right? And this gentle wind, Brahma is the essence of creation. Tattva is the essence of creation. This is the time for artists, creative people, for anybody who wants to use their brains and do creative work in the world, for them to go out and get this fresh ambrosia. This is a time that is best for them. If somebody is a CEO, they want good advice, they want good guidance, they are stuck with something, they should wake up in this time and go for a gentle walk. If we remember, all our grandpas, grandmas used to wake up at this time and they would all go out and walk, sit by the river or meditate. This is why they were doing it, because they were doing big things with their life. Therefore, they needed to go out and harness the biggest energy that was available to them. And when they do this, then you can go on till 11 and you will not be tired. It's almost like you're taking your ship to the harbor and you're catching the right wind. Your sail is aligned in such a way that the right wind is catching you, and now your ship can go far. With little effort, your body can go far. This is why we wake up in Brahma Muhurta. And we have that entire 48 minutes. We don't have to wake up at 4:30 if we don't feel like it. 5:40 is also perfectly okay for us to wake up in Brahma. Okay? So, tomorrow we're going to attempt trying to wake up in Brahma Muhurta. So, to do that, what do we need to do tonight? We need to make sure that we are sleeping at least 8 hours in advance. So, let's say I am being super lazy and I want to wake up at 5:40 and still say that, Pat, I woke up in Brahma Muhurt. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, I want to sleep for 8 hours or 9 hours, or put in your number. I'm not going to judge. Okay. I want to sleep for 9 hours. What time should I go to sleep if I should wake up at 5:40 a.m.? Now, ChatGPT is going to tell me, okay, ChatGPT wants me to sleep by 8:40 p.m. if I need 9 hours to sleep. And we are going to set our alarm right now. Let's get you 9 hours of sleep. You need to sleep. It's not an endurance test. When we sleep deep, that's when our body does the maximum amount of cleansing. It even cleans our brain out. So any plaque buildup in our brain, which can cause Alzheimer's later down the line, especially if we are like exposing our eyes to a lot of screens, we need 8 hours to go to sleep. I had an eye surgery about a couple of years ago because my daughter accidentally hit me in the eyes. She was sleeping and she just flailed, and I had to go in for an eye surgery. And the surgeon told me every day, no matter what time you go to sleep, you cannot open your eyes before 8 hours are done. So I had the Pirates thing, and then I had to keep that eye closed for 8 hours no matter what. And when I would not do that because I was busy and I had work, I would see that when I was out driving at night, I would not see things very clearly. But once I started to diligently follow my surgeon's guidance, then my eyes recovered so fast. So that was a big lesson for me. That it's not just about me feeling fresh, it's also about giving my body, each of my organs, the time they need to get healed. So that 8-hour mark or the 9-hour mark, you have to sleep for all these body parts to function properly. And I see that none of us is younger than 20, right? Palak, as we get older, especially women who have crossed their 40s, we need deep sleep. Okay? Especially if any of us is going through menopause, we need that daytime napping. I know Ayurveda says no daytime napping, but for us, because our body goes through a lot of stress, and this is the time where the body is breaking down, brittle. It's becoming more brittle. We notice this in our hair, in our skin. We need more sleep. So let's go set our alarm. I'm setting my alarm for 9 o'clock. I am going to set an alarm saying, go to sleep, Salila. And I'm going to make it loud. It's going to be a irritating sound. It's not going to be like a soft, gentle thing that I'm going to say, no problem. Okay, not too bad. All right. So my alarm is set for 9 o'clock. I'm going to be asleep by 9:30. Everybody set your alarms? Yes? Now, why did I not ask you to set alarm for the morning? When your body is fully satiated and it's, I'm so happy and content, you are going to wake up at the right time. Unless you were tossing and turning and did not go to sleep. But if you did, there is no pressure for you to wake up tomorrow. That was Brahma Muhurta, waking up. Any questions, any doubts, any like why can I answer before we move on to the next one? We good? Palak? Yes, dear.
My question is the practicality of this regime. If someone is working until late or even for the workshop, right? For me, obviously, work is important. So I can't let go of the schedule completely. Then I need some downtime with family. So how do we deal with these situations and still manage to wake up in the
Yes. So once you know that okay, 9:30 is my perfect timing for Brahma Muhurta to get 8 hours of sleep if I wake up in Brahma Muhurta. So what happens is you were supposed to go to sleep at 9, let's say, but you went to sleep at 12. So you missed out on 3 hours of sleep. Over time, this sleep deficit is going to create a breakage in the body, a breakdown in our body system, a weakening of the nervous system, a weakening of eyes, bones, hair shaft, weakening of the reproductive system. The body just does not have enough time to catch up and cleanse. Nighttime is cleansing time, right? So, this 3 hours of deficit, you have to make up by taking a nap during the daytime. We're not going to go sleep for 3 hours. We're going to sleep for half the time of deficit. Modern science says that you cannot catch up on sleep deficit. Ayurveda says you can. If you take a nap for half an hour, half the time that you had that sleep deficit, right? Let's say there was a jagrana. You were staying up because it's the Durga festival, you are doing overnight meditation. People do that, right? And you did not sleep a single wink. That afternoon, 8 hours cut into half, 4 hours we must nap to catch up. So every time you have a sleep deficit, divide the sleep deficit into half, nap for that much time. And it's best to nap after about maybe half an hour to an hour of eating. So your body can metabolize your lunch and then you take a nap. Never go to sleep right after eating. That's going to create more kapha in the body. So do a little bit of light work, stay up, read, do some things you don't have to like stress over. And then in about 45 minutes, when the food has gotten a chance to move down, then you take a nap. A lot of us, when we sleep right away after eating, we wake up with like puffy eyes. What is that? Kapha. We wake up irritated, imbalance. We should wake up fresh. The next one is centering in love. So we opened our eyes, it's Brahma Muhurta. What do we do next? Majority of people who pass away in the night pass away in the early hours of the morning. Why? Because that time creates a little bit stress on our heart. So as soon as we wake up, we think of our heart. Because this heart has been pumping and keeping us alive, we are most grateful to this heart that we have a life, we have a body, that we are here on the planet. So immediately, as soon as we wake up, we place our hands on our heart and we say, thank you for being here for me. Thank you for opening my eyes. I am so grateful I get to do another day, my loved ones. I get to be in this world. I get to pick a fight with a girlfriend, or I get to have a not so pleasant interaction. I'm grateful even for that because I'm alive. I'm irritating because I'm alive, right? I'm loving and I get to enjoy this spectrum of feelings because I'm alive. Thank you, God. Thank you for helping me wake up. The ritual that Ayurveda says is touching Vasundhara, touching Mother Earth. Before we place our feet on Mother Earth, we place our hands on Mother Earth and we say, thank you, Ma. Thank you for holding me for another day. Okay. So I came up with this because I was like, no, this is something naturally we can do immediately. Place our hands on our heart. And then the next thing would be hug someone who's sleeping next to us and say, thank you for being here. Thank you for loving me. Open your eyes. Good morning. I love you. Say, I love you to yourself. Say, I love you to Mother Earth. Say, I love you to your spouse, your child, your pet. Say, I love you to your bedroom if nobody's there. Because when we have these feelings of love, what is happening? We are charging that space with the feeling of love. When we are in partnerships, we go to bed upset, we fight, and then it's a place of not so good energy. When we bring in love deliberately, we start to remove that negative energy. We start to bring in more love into that space. And that's exactly what my client did when she got pregnant. When she was in bed with her spouse and she was being grateful and loving towards him, then she started to rebalance that energy. We are in bed watching reels or looking at things, like we open our Instagram reels and then suddenly all this war and then all kinds of protests and all kinds of things we don't want to see is being thrown at us. And we receive it, and the emotions we are feeling charges that space. And our spouse is also doing something. Some people work. Some of my women clients tell me, my husband is working in bed. He brings in his laptop. And I'm like, okay, we need to change that. Only then you're going to have a loving space there. So, absolutely no devices in the room. Our devices should stay somewhere far away. I use an analog clock. I switch off my phone and I put it away. And so in the morning, when the alarm rings, I have to get up and go get it. So that way I'm not snoozing it because I also work late. I have meetings with India in the evening. I get up early to do my calls. So I don't wake up feeling like, woo, good morning, right? Because I also feel tired. So this challenge is great for me as well to center in good habits. Okay. I hope this is clear. So the more we have love in our bed, literally, the more we will make love in our bed. Next is washing our hands, face, ears, mouth, eyes. Okay. What does this mean? When we go to sleep, we are dreaming, right? We are flying, somebody is yelling at us, we are naked, where are my clothes? We're getting all kinds of stressful dreams, angry dreams, happy dreams. And when we wake up, our sense organs are still holding the charge of these dreams. Our eyes, our ears, it's still ringing. Sometimes we wake up and we're like, oh my God, that's still in my head. When we wash with fresh water, and our ancestors would do this, even today, if you have relatives in the rural areas, you would see first thing they would go to the hand pump or the well, and then they will draw water and splash, splash, splash. Ears, eyes, mouth, hands, feet, right? So they are going to clean all this. Why? Again, they are bringing that energy back into center. They're removing any of the charge that is remaining from the night prior. Okay? This re-energizes, refreshes. So this is what we are going to also be doing. City folks, all of us. Okay? We're going to go to the bathroom, wash our eyes, our ears as well, because we heard things in our sleep. We want to re-energize and refresh. Okay? All right, my dear. So that was set number one. Set number one is complete. Wake up, ground in love, go wash ourselves. Now, we can, of course, use the bathroom, pee and stuff. I have not added that because that is natural for our body. It could be totally okay that you wake up and you have a full bladder and you go run and go use the bathroom. That's perfectly all right. But you fla- but you always ground yourself and then you wash your face, your ears, your hands, your feet, everything. Now, for some of us, there might be wet and dry areas in our toilets, so our feet should be washed in the bathtub or in the wet area. Yeah. Okay. This the next set that we do after waking up is we go to the kitchen and we make ourselves a cup of warm water. Okay. Why? Because when we wake up in the morning, we are waking up with sluggish digestion. If we look at our tongue is going to look a little coated and slightly slimy. This means that our digestive fire is not yet active. So if we had a chula, but let's say we were a rural person and we had a fire in the night in the kitchen stove and we just covered it with ashes and we came back to look at it in the morning first thing. It's not going to be blazing. The embers are going to be just there. It'll be covered with ashes. There might be just a few sparks in there. Exactly the same way. First, we took care of our heart. Now, we're going to take care of our gut. Our digestive fire is also like those embers which are just slow burning there. We have to energize it and wake it up with love. How do we wake it up with love? By sipping on warm water. You can make something like, I call it cut. So you can take some cumin, some black seed, some carom, about half a teaspoon each. You can toast it in a little kettle and then you can add a liter of water on top, bring it to a nice boil. It'll be like a pale yellow or a dark yellow liquid, depending on how strong, how much seeds you've used. You can sip on that to revive your digestive fire. I am drinking just plain hot water. Even plain hot water is fine. And we don't need more than 100 ml. Because what I see nowadays is a lot of yoga people will say, drink a big liter of water in a copper copper bottle. What this does is this is cold water. This is very astringent, vata provoking water. They do a lot of yoga during the day, so their body is heated up. So they can handle this in the morning. We don't do that much yoga in the day. We handle stress. So our body is brittle and cold. So for us, drinking a large quantity of cold water is like pouring water on top of those embers that we spoke about. We need to revive those embers. So a small quantity of nice hot water is what will do for us because we are Ayurvedic people. The next thing what this will do is this will initiate peristalsis. What happens at night? Sometimes we have indigestion, sometimes we have bloating. Whenever we have indigestion and bloating, peristalsis is the movement of our alimentary canal, which is downward flowing. It helps with elimination in the morning. But when we have indigestion, when we have bloating, when we wake up with discomfort, sometimes gas may be trapped. We may have reverse peristalsis. So sometimes we wake up and we're like, some of us will see old uncles doing that, right? They are having reverse peristalsis. So sipping on this water is going to help them rebalance that vata and move it downward. It's called vata, meaning vata will be moving in the direction that is meant for it to move. Everything downward. Nature has created us in such a way that just by lying horizontal, we may have reverse peristalsis because we are lying horizontal on bed. As soon as we stand up, now we help the body to move the energy downward. What happens if the energy is not moving downward? We have apana vayu. These are all different kinds of air element in our body. We have apana vayu, which moves downward, and we have prana vayu, which is balancing it and moves upward. If the apana was moving upward, the prana will move downward. So ulta, okay? The reverse. Apana needs to move downward so we can pee, poop, pee, walk, have strength in the legs. And the prana should move upward so we can breathe deep and we can think right. Instead, what happens is our apana is weak and our prana also becomes weak. Because of this, we have those burps in the morning. We don't have proper digestion in the night. So we wake up feeling anxious because digestion didn't happen. So our stomach, where serotonin is collected, almost 90% of serotonin is derived in the gut. Stomach is not feeling so good. We don't wake up feeling fresh. We feel anxious and our prana is down. When the prana is down, we breathe very shallow. So we breathe very shallowly through the night. And when we are doing shallow breathing and indigestion, we wake up feeling overwhelmed. We wake up feeling stress. Some people wake up at 3 in the morning. That is when the vata is spiking up in the atmosphere. Their vata is imbalanced. They wake up immediately. And what are they thinking? Oh my God, my life is a mess. My husband is going to divorce me. Oh my God, all my money is gone. My business is going to come crashing. They are going to think of all kinds of doomsday scenarios. My parents are going to pass away. My brother's going to, something's going to happen bad for him. Bad dreams, right? This is what happens when our apana is not as strong as our prana. This is why we wake up and we start doing yoga to balance the apana and pranayama to balance the prana so that we are bringing everything back to center, back to alignment before we start our day. Just the same way, I'm not going to get in my car and start driving my car if the wheels were off. If there was no gas in the car, the gas was low, the wheels were off, I'm not going to start driving my car. No, I need to get through my day. I need to get to my meeting. I'm not going to do that. I am going to get my wheels aligned, get full gas, only then I'm going to start driving. Enough adequate gas. This is the refueling of the body. Making sense? This is making sense? Yes. So the time we take in the morning is absolutely that sacred alignment with our powerful energies. We cannot go out in the world without sorting our own selves inside of our own selves. The next thing we do is going for a brisk morning walk. You will all receive this. I'm explaining it in detail right now, so it remains with you, but the cues are already in here. Okay. And a lot of things I speak is not here. It cannot be, I can speak on one point for 5 hours. It's that ocean of a topic. Okay. But here it's just a little reminder for you to remember that we had this conversation. Going for a brisk morning walk. We talked about our apana, the peristalsis. When we move, what are our legs doing? Up and down like a piston. It will start to move our alimentary canal. So if we have not had a bowel movement, this walk is going to help us get that bowel movement. Sipping on the warm liquid and walking. Many of my constipation patients, this is the only thing. I don't even have to do anything for them. Drink something hot, move your legs up and down. Some people don't live in spaces they can get up and go out and walk. Some cities in India, it's not safe to be out early morning walking, especially if you're a young woman. And many of my patients are young women. So what they do is they go into their balcony and just do leg raises up and down, fast, brisk walking, and they get a bowel movement. And that's it. Constipation is taken care of. Again, being out in that ambrosial Brahma Muhurta air where kapha is thick and dense, if we can harness that healthy kapha in our body, when stress hits throughout the day, This healthy kapha is going to keep us balanced. So, no matter how many stressful meetings we have during the day, no matter how many interactions we have or episodes of meetings with friends, with clients, no matter what is going on, we are going to have a good state of mind because we have harnessed that kapha into our mind in the morning. Okay. So that was our habit set number 2. Anybody wants to go take a break, go use the bathroom? I'm going to go get a refill. We'll come back in 5 minutes. Okay. Right. Welcome back. This is making sense. Are you guys able to relate to what I'm saying? Please unmute yourself and share what's coming up for you. Shraddha we're just discussing what's coming up. Is this making sense? Is this landing? Is this resonating? Are you able to see things?
Yes, I wake up every day around 6 o'clock because I have my morning routine with the kids and everything. However, I've noticed that if I wake up earlier, no, I feel very fresh and nice, and I like the morning energy. It's very positive and very uplifting.
Yes, wonderful. You're already seeing how your body reacts to the that
Yeah.
positive kapha in the atmosphere. And you feel like you have more energy when you wake up earlier.
Yes.
Right? And it was just like, why did I not get my 8 hours of sleep? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Ranjana,
Yeah, whatever you're saying, yeah, it does resonate. I'm just wondering it's very dark here, right, in the morning. So I'm wondering how I can go out. So that is the only concern. I'm thinking how I can go about it. At least to just get a few minutes of the Vata energy. I'm just thinking, contemplating how I can achieve just that aspect alone.
yes. Do you have a yard?
Yeah,
So you can just, if you have a space where you can walk in your yard,
yeah,
you have lights and stuff. So
yeah. We can
all
that's the only option. Just at least for few minutes, I can just go.
yeah, what I do is I have a small yard as well. So enough for me to walk back and
Yeah.
what I do is I do some jumping jacks. I just
Okay.
stand there and do jumping jacks. As long as our knees are lifting up and going down, or some lunges, some jumps. I do about 100 jumps every morning when I wake up so that my body becomes energized and all my lymph can move.
Alright. Okay.
Like,
I'll try that.
kind of pumps me up. Yeah. Palak, everything is landing for you.
One of my biggest beliefs was that if I wake up early, I get tired early.
Hmm.
But as you mentioned, that think of it as a boat going to the harbor to catch the right wind, that really sat with me because that's just a new perspective for me.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah. And you're going to see this in reality as well as you work with this because we're not, these are all gentle suggestions. And only during this challenge would you be lovingly invited to try this out for yourself. See what you feel like. Yeah. There is no hard and fast, no, you have to do this because you signed up. No. Only if it feels good. My philosophy is always we treat that inner child like an inner child with love. We ask it to change through love. And once we see that this is good, that experience never leaves us. And we're convinced. Nobody can convince us more than our own body. Yeah. Thank you.
Also, when we do new things as a sort of challenge, like I'll do 10 things in a day and then I'll do it for 10 days, like the whole 75 hard, all of that.
Yeah.
I feel like after a couple of days, like it crashes down. You're then doing all things opposite.
Yeah. With Ayurveda rituals, the good thing is, even if these are the sequence when you have time. So this came through the pandemic when everybody had tons of time because our commute times were all gone. But we can switch this up. Towards the end, I will share with you what I do when I am like really time crunched and all I have is literally 15 minutes in the morning. Like you're out, you're in conferences or something, and all you have is 15 minutes to get dressed, go get breakfast, then jump in an Uber, go to a site, and then you are with clients till like 10:30, 11 in the night, when you have that kind of a lifestyle, absolutely. The good thing is, even a few dinacharya rituals, and I will tell you which ones they are. If you do it, your body will stay energized. Even till 11, you'll be like perky and happy and excited. All
Yes, everything is okay for me. What I have realized is the afternoon nap helps actually, but a very quick nap is what helps. If I sleep for some 40 minutes, 1 hour, just because I woke up very early and slept late the last night, I feel very lethargic and sometimes I feel sick. But a
right.
very quick nap is very refreshing.
That's good. That's good. Scientifically, also based on latest studies, a 20-minute nap is considered to be refreshing. But this is the Ayurvedic information, the knowledge, and I'm always a believer of what Ayurveda wants us to do. So, individually, our bodies have become habituated to certain ways of living, and it's perfectly all right. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Everything is a
Yes,
yeah.
I sleep because I'm not able to wake up. I needed that sleep, but then after I wake up in the evening, I feel very lethargic. So I don't understand. I thought I sleep because I wanted to, but then why I'm not feeling good after I wake up, I never really understood.
Maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's the timing of when you go to sleep. What time do you sleep usually when you take these naps?
Usually around 4:30, 5,
Mm.
and I'll wake up in 15, 20 minutes. That's good. But let's say I slept till 5:36 sometimes because I was like sleep starved the previous night. That time I'm not feeling good. But I always wonder, I slept because I needed to sleep, but why I'm not feeling good?
Okay. What time is your sunset time?
Sunset is sometimes around 6:45, 6:15.
Yeah. You are very close to the sunset time. That's why you're not feeling good. Sunset time are Sandhikala. Sunset and sunrise times
Yeah.
are Sandhikala is not a good time for our body. Our body becomes more imbalanced during this time. So during that time, the only thing we do is chanting, praying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the issue. You should be sleeping at around 1. So have lunch or
Yeah.
brunch around 12:30ish, and then around 1
Mm.
1:15 go down for a nap. Then your body will feel refreshed.
Yeah. I think maybe I should switch the time. If I really need to take a nap, it should be early nap.
Early afternoon is the time. Yeah. After
Um,
lunch or brunch. And when you wake up feeling tired, you look like you do a lot of rituals and things. You do a lot of rituals and
Mm.
so then don't do breakfast and lunch. Instead, have brunch by 11ish.
Okay.
And by noon, you're
Mm.
digested. Go down for a nap. Sleep for a good 1.5 hours. You should be good.
Yeah. I'll try that.
All right, my dear. Keep me posted. Okay. Now we're going
Mm.
to talk about the. Did I miss anybody? Everybody's spoken, right? Okay, great. We're going to talk about the third set of habits. We have total 7 sets of habit. Now is the third set. Now we are going to do the teeth, dental hygiene, teeth cleansing rituals. The first thing we do after we have a bowel movement, so we are not brushing our teeth right away, which is how we do when we teach our children, wake up, brush your teeth. This is no. Wake up, ground in love, go for a walk, drink hot water, have a bowel movement so mornings are not rushed and crazy. This time you're like tightly holding this time. My mornings are sacred. I am going to take my time. But I totally understand if we have children, they might be rushed. But this is what we are aspiring to, brushing our teeth. Okay. Why is brushing our teeth so important? We know that it's hygiene. We know that throughout the night that bacteria collects in our mouth, creates plaque on the teeth. This plaque, if this is not removed, this can slowly enter our bloodstream, our gut, and then create systemic inflammation in the body. And this inflammation can create heart disease. To my pregnant clients, I always tell them to be doubly and triply careful with their dental hygiene because A, when you are pregnant, the body does not have extra reserves of energy to take care of all this extra cleansing. So we have to help the body. And when they don't do that, usually they will have complications in the pregnancy. This is a very big determiner of whether things will go right in our body or wrong in our body. So, cleaning our mouth is not just for I will smell fresh and I can be social. It is one of the biggest ways, just the way we clean the alimentary canal starts here and the alimentary canal ends at the colon, right? The colon is full of bacteria, so is the mouth. The two ends of the alimentary canal are similar. We clean the alimentary canal when we go to the bathtub, when we go to the bathroom, when we use the toilet. We are very diligent about cleaning because we understand that both these areas are places of disease. Isn't that a shocker? The other thing is, this is very close to our brain, and the lowest portion of our alimentary canal is very close to our reproductive organs. Isn't it strange that the divine created us with the dirtiest parts close to the most sacred parts, the parts that need to be protected the most? And they are protected. But the only thing we need to do is making sure we cleanse these areas properly. Okay? When we wake up in the morning, we talked about how our mouth is slimy, how the fire is not burning so bright. It is a little bit towards the imbalanced kapha. Imbalanced kapha is synonymous with stickiness, sliminess. If I take some sugar and mix it with some water, will it get sticky? Yes, no? It will get sticky, right? Because sugar is also slimy, sticky kapha. Right? If you take toothpaste and you stick it on your hands, it will be sticky. Now, in this sticky, slimy mouth, I am going to put a sticky, slimy, sweet toothpaste. What's going to happen? My kapha is going to get even more imbalanced. My mouth, my bacteria, of course, they're going to get cleaned, but they are also not going to be as thoroughly cleansed if I use a astringent or a more spicy or a zero sugar toothpaste, a zero sugar kind of sugar like xylitol. So we look for toothpaste that are either tooth powders. Ayurvedic tooth powders are never sweet. The authentic formulas are never sweet. You can make a toothpaste in your own home by using Triphala. Triphala is an Ayurvedic herb mix. So Triphala, Trijata. What is Trijata? Ila, which is cardamom, Patra, which is cinnamon, Lavanga, which is long. So cardamom, cinnamon, and long. Take this in equal quantity. Grind it into a powder. And then Trikatu. Trikatu is what? Pepper, dry ginger, people is long pepper. So Triphala is what? Bibitaki and Amlaki. All of these ingredients in the equal quantity. So 1 teaspoon each. Mix it with equal quantity of powdered mango leaves. Green mango leaves, dry it up. You can do this as a project with the children. Children love this toothpaste. And grind it all up. Add a little bit of oil to it, like coconut oil or sesame oil. You can even use like a small piece of soap nut in it. Grind all of this up. Use this as a toothpaste and see how refreshing your mouth feels. You can add some sodium hydroxide if you like, baking soda, or you can add some salt into this, Himalayan salt into this, not a lot. just enough to give it some taste because it will be spicy, it will be sharp. So maybe not for toddlers, but for anybody above 8 years old, try it. My clients who have grandmas and stuff, they absolutely love it because it feels so healthy for their mouth. This is a Ayurvedic toothpaste. Okay? This toothpaste is truly going to keep the brain sharp because this will take away all that imbalanced kapha. It will activate the digestive fire. You will feel hungry for breakfast.
Any particular brands that you would recommend? Never used tooth powder.
Kotakal Ayurvedic is a good brand. Nagarjuna, Aushadhi, these are all good brands. And if you have a small Ayurveda pharmacy that you know of, usually they will make good stuff because they know you personally. It's almost like cooking, somebody cooking something for you. But you can try it as an experiment as well. Maybe your mom already has all the ingredients in her kitchen. Ideas. Next step, after we brush our teeth, we examine our tongue. So we stick our tongue out and we look at our tongue and we say, how is my tongue looking? The way the tongue looks tells us it's a report card of how your stomach digested the food last day, the food that you ate over the last 24 hours, how did it affect your Agni, digestive fire? What is the state of your digestive fire right now? That will inform us about how should I be eating in the next 12 hours. Okay? If I wake up and there is something wrong with my stove's knob is not working properly. My stove is either burning very low or it's burning really bright. I have to know before I stick something on the stove and start cooking food. The same thing we do when we look at our tongue. If there is a white coating, then it can be either kapha or vata. Vata will look like dry white crack, lots of little cracks. Then that means that vata is very high and my digestion is sluggish. It's not regular. When the tongue is kind of vata, there might be periods where I get very hungry or I do have no hunger. When it is kapha, uniformly it will be no hunger. I will not feel very hungry. The tongue will not just have white coating, it will have something slimy. It will feel slimy. The saliva will feel slimy. The tongue will look a little bit yellowish, not just pure white, it will be a little yellowish. When there is a pitta imbalance, there might be fissures, like there will be a cut right in the middle of the tongue. The tongue might look very bright red on the sides. If there is a long fissure in the center, it means that there is a pitta imbalance. If there are scallops on the side, if you wake up and the tongue has like scallops, like a frill, your teeth marks on the side, then it means that our body has been not able to absorb all the nutrition. So the tongue is slightly swollen and it's sticking against the teeth, because of which we wake up with teeth marks. So we may have eaten the best foods, we may have eaten superfoods the day before. It just became poop and went down the toilet. The body did not absorb what it needed to absorb. Okay? All of this tells us how we can build up good meals that work with our Agni and use the suitable cooking method for it. So if I wake up and my tongue is white coated, it means that my my fire is sluggish. So I should not eat very dense, heavy, nutritious meals, right? Even if I eat a nutritious meal, let's say I make really nutritious vegetables are the vegetables that grow under the ground or that are very dark in color. So if I need to make I was planning to eat a spinach salad and my tongue was white, I'm not going to have a salad because I know my digestive fire is low. So if I eat something high fiber raw, it's going to make my tongue worse. It's going to affect my Agni in a worse manner. Instead, I'm going to have a spinach soup. That's going to be better for my tongue. That's going to be better for my Agni, right? If my tongue is kapha, I see that it is slimy, it's sticky, it's going towards the yellow side. I am going to stay away from really dense foods because anything that is dairy, nuts, sugary, and slimy foods like oats, like spinach, fenugreek, nopales, which is a kind of cactus. Spinach is also slimy, right? Oats, spinach, lotus roots are slimy, okra is slimy. Can you think of any other slimy vegetables? Slimy things? Something that has a slimy mouthfeel. Anything slimy is automatically very high in nutrition.
Honey, honey is slimy, right? Is that not slimy? Honey.
It's sticky. Yep. Honey is definitely high in nutrition. Yeah. But honey actually balances kapha. So even though honey is pre-digested sugars, so it's not as heavy on the body because the honeybees have done their job of digesting it. It balances kapha. So honey is actually good. To have a little bit honey and lemon tea in the morning is actually pretty good. Just making sure that you add honey after it's become lukewarm. We don't add honey to a very hot cup of tea. But you're right, it does have that sticky, slimy quality. Yeah, but there are like outliers to this rule, but these are general rules for us to quickly understand some concepts. So, when we have kapha, we avoid, I like to use acronyms to help you learn better. So, we avoid DNSS, dairy, nuts, sweets, and slimy. If you could please mute. Sorry. Thank you. If we have a very vata tongue, where the tongue is whitish and there's a lot of fissures, there's a lot of cracks, not fissure, but cracks, and your mouth feels dry, it's not slimy like kapha. That would mean that the body needs nutrition. However, the body cannot handle CRDS, cold, raw, dry, stale. So you can make a soup out of things that are nice and dense with nutrition, right? But you cannot eat cold, cannot eat raw. Dry foods like popcorn, crackers, cookies, avoid that. Even like bhakri, things that are very dry, that's going to worsen your vata. Stale, that is the acronym for vata imbalance. What is the acronym for pitta imbalance? We see bright red tongue with fissure, pitta state. We avoid SOSS, spicy, oily, sour, and salty. And in sour, we also avoid foods that are fermented. So, does this mean we completely avoid it? We reduce it. We don't make that the main thing. We eat it on the side a little bit. Or if it is in a worse state, we absolutely avoid it. And it just informs us that this is how I need to eat for the next 12 hours to balance. And once we have done that, naturally, in a couple of days, as we maintain it, our tongue will start becoming nice and pink. Okay? If there is scallops, means malabsorptions, that means we need to make sure that we are eating according to our hunger. We are eating when we are hungry. We are eating more soups. We are not eating more salads or things that are more like dry fries and stuff like that. Using the appropriate cooking method, not eating something fried or eating something that is air fryers and things, they dry out food. So you're eating more of nourishment in a soapy way. Wet, warm, unctuous. These are the best ways for the body to gain nutrition, which is why khichdi and porridges are so important because the body absolutely loves eating these kind of meals. Any questions, any doubts? Yes, Palak?
When you say porridge, what is the ingredient that you mean? Is it a grain that you use?
Yeah. We eat grains, it could be millets, it could be quinoa, any of these. It could be rice, rice is a grain, whole grains, wheat, unless you have gluten insensitivity, then you wouldn't do that. But you can do buckwheat, you can do any kind of millet. You can crush it, you can pound it, you can soak it overnight, then they are much better. There are recipes from around the world where you soak it in buttermilk. There's a recipe called Visnan from the frontier region, which is one of the healthiest recipes I know. Buckwheat soaked in thin buttermilk overnight and then cooked the next day till it's like a nice porridge. And then you do a chonk, a tempering. Or I like to use a little bit of cumin, ginger, a little chilies, a few slices of green chilies, some cilantro, salt, and then chalk with some ghee on top. It's such a nourishing breakfast. The real recipe calls for a lot of ghee because it's from the frontier region. They are from the desert. They need that much ghee in the morning, but we don't. We just need 1 teaspoon. Another porridge is something I've had, and I travel a lot extensively in India when I come back. And I love to go to the rural regions to experience these kind of authentic foods, which then I can share with my community. Dalia, like broken wheat, cooked very well, soaked overnight, cooked really well, and a chunk of hing and hing jeera ka tadka, they will say. Hing jeera ka tadka with salt. When they presented it to me, I was like, I think I'm going to gag. Once I started eating it, I was like, oh my God, this is so delicious. Even khichdi, just a handful of rice, a handful of broken mung beans, cooked well, soaked overnight, cooked well in the morning. Simple tadka, hing jeera. That's it. So soothing to start the day. The Chinese love to start their day with congee as well. And that's where we get the word congee. It comes from Chinese word, congee. They will add some ginger, slices of fish or chicken, just a few, or a little egg, a boiled egg, or just break egg into it till it cooks. So delicious. Then we're going to do scraping of the tongue. So we can use gold, copper, silver. Once this thing is gone, the ama is gone, that it is a toxin. It's called ama. This toxin is sticky. It is smelly. If it goes into our system, it will go clog our pores. This ama is the fundamental reason why we have disease. Science looks at it as bacteria. Ayurveda says anything that is sticky, that goes and clogs our pores, that sits on top of our cells, that does not allow for the normal activity to happen, is ama. Whenever there is a blockage due to ama, in that place there is going to be a buildup of vata, pitta, kapha. And when vata, pitta, kapha start to build up, they're not going to function normally. They are going to go out of whack. And that is a state of imbalance. So there's going to be swelling, there's going to be redness, there's going to be smell, there's going to be just unhappiness in that space. And that is the beginning of disease. It does not matter what we eat as long as we keep eliminating. This body is a circulating machine. So when people say that, oh my God, be very careful, make sure you don't, of course, we make sure that we don't put poison into our body. But there are many things we cannot avoid. Yeah, Shraddhaji, I'll come to you in a minute. As long as this body keeps sweating, pooping, peeing on time and hydrating well, and it's out of the body, this body is meant to keep itself healthy. Yeah. Or images. Shraddhaji, did you have a question?
Now, I had a small question just about the protein intake and stuff. I'm sure like many people must be asking you this. What's your take on non-vegetarian food? Does it aggravate with vata and stuff like that? And how, if we have to eat protein and if we have to eat eggs and chicken, how do we go about it? How do we cook it for better nourishment?
Yeah. Ayurvedically speaking, there is no problem with any of this. But the only problem now is how much they are. One, they are not maintained in a healthy manner. Two, they are not killed in a healthy manner. There's a lot of stress that builds up in their body before that. Then when we eat them, we receive all that. Our body has to metabolize it to convert it into energy, right? So I'm not against eating meats. I There are two aspects to it. One, the daily value of protein that we have today as prevalent was based on the experiment done on Vietnam War vets in the 70s. And it was based on American eating habits. So, in that experiment, if you do any experiment, there's going to be a bell curve. If you chart the graph, it's going to look like a bell curve. So, there's going to be outliers. There's going to be a large number of people who are in that median range. And then there's going to be some outliers. So, they did this experiment and almost all were meat eating. So, American food, it's like there's going to be a steak in the middle of the plate. And then there's going to be some potatoes or some carrots and some peas. For us, it's not like that. For us, the green is in the center. On the side is all the other foods. So it's the opposite of them. So based on that, they looked at the protein consumption of an average American war veterinarian. And that they looked at and they said, okay, if we take it as the 50th percentile, then 50% of American men and women are going to eat less. And that might affect their health. So they said we cannot take the 50th median percentile. What they did is they took the 98th median percentile, 98th percentile, so that everybody ate the way they wanted to eat. Everybody had a chance to improve, but nobody started to think, oh, median value is only X, so I need to cut back. Nobody cut back. Okay. Now, when you take that food habit, that daily value assessment from a specific culture and try to superimpose it on all these different cultures from around the world, you have trouble. We have problems. Like in India, every dietitian will say, oh no, every Indian is deficient in protein. But if we were deficient in protein, we would not look the way we look. Our bodies would break down. We would not be able to have children. But we are one of the highest reproductive numbers in the world. So what is wrong there? If instinctively we eat, every human eats about 20% of their diet as protein. We should increase more if we are working out and there is a lot of significant wear and tear in the muscles. We are building muscle. Yes, we need more protein. Then we can look at that daily value as a aspirational. Yes, I need to increase. But if you're just maintaining, all you need to do is 20% of your diet. So if we can eat 1 cup of lentil a day, that is also perfectly fine. You can eat 1 cup of meat a day as well. The best way to eat that would be make it into a soup or a curry. Have it during the first half of the day for lunch, because we front load our day with the heaviest of foods. Because our Jataragni, our digestive fire, mirrors the sun. As the sun is rising, our Jataragni will improve if we have done that alignment in the morning. Just like I charge my phone, if I charge my Jataragni with the sun in the morning, I will be very hungry in the afternoon. And that is the time when I eat my most protein-rich meal. My dinner will be lighter as the sun goes down. So almost zero protein for dinner is perfectly okay. Almost little protein for breakfast, perfectly okay. All right, my dears. Any other questions? I hope I answered satisfactorily.
Yes. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anybody else? Shridevi ji, Ranjana
Sanjana ji, one quick question. So, raw, does fruits constitute raw? What do you... Okay.
if your digestive fire is affected, let's say you are having diarrhea every day, constipation every day, then you would eat fruit by themselves at 11 or as a snack. You would try to do at least 2 to 4 fruit because your body would be deficient in those micronutrients. So we have to do 4 fruit a day. Not the same fruit, different fruit. If we are eating something like blackberries or something, somebody will come to me and say, I ate about 10 blackberries or 10 blueberries. That's not enough. You are going to eat 1 cup of blackberries or blueberries. It has to be a sizable portion, like a full apple or something, right? So 4 fruit a day at 11 and 3. However, if your digestion is perfectly fine, you have bowel movements and they neither sink, they float on top. That means your body did a good job of digesting it. All the nutrition was drawn out of all the food that you ate. Then your poop will float. It was no more than a handful, meaning whatever you ate, it was converted into nutrition. The body did not just junk in, junk out. When we eat a lot, we poop a lot. Sometimes when we eat the right quantity, we poop a little. Some of my clients will be like, oh no, I poop so less. Be like, it's good. Your Agni is balanced now. Now your body is pooping the right amount. So our poop should not be more than a palmful and it should float. So when during the pandemic, I was convinced that this was a wrong guidance. I was like, I have never seen it happen to me. May, does that mean that I was never healthy? So what I did is I took my doggy's doodoo and I put it in the toilet bowl. It floated. I was like, what the hell? Next day I did the same thing, floated again. I was like, because animals don't have stress like us, they eat, they rest, they know when to stop, they exercise the right amount. They will run around this house if you don't take them out, right? They know how to digest their food, so their digestion is always optimal. And when they poop, it's exactly the right quantity and it will float because it is a healthy body. And then when I started to really look at my diet and started to do the dinacharya, that's when during the pandemic, I started to have floaty elimination. And I was like, Eureka! For the first time. So always look back and look at your poop to see whether it's floating or sinking. If it is floating, you ate well, you ate the right quantity, your body was very healthy the last 24 hours. That's a report card. Just like the tongue. The tongue tells us how to cook for the next day and what to eat. The poop tells us, good job, you did great. Let's say the poop was sinking. It says you either ate too much, you ate too dense foods, your Agni was not adequate to digest it. So go back. We get a new chance every day. This is what is the most beautiful thing about life. Loving chances every day. And you can make change even in your 40s. There's no problem. I have clients who make change in their 70s and they say, what a remedy. So we've scraped our tongue so that we remove the bacteria, not just remove the bacteria, but improve the digestive fire and also making sure that the load of ama on the body is less. Okay. Now we move on to our fourth set of habits. Okay. So when tomorrow we start the WhatsApp group, tomorrow we are going to do the first set. Okay, we are only going to try doing this first set. Trying to wake up in Brahma Muhurta. I know it's late for you guys, so tomorrow you are excused. Only the people in America should try to sleep early and go to wake up early. The rest, you can carry that forward to the next day because we are only going to meet for 1 hour. So even if you are coming to me at 7:30 in the evening, we will be done by 8:30 at the dot so that you can go to sleep. Okay. We are going to center in love for sure. And we are going to wash our hands, face, ears, mouth, and feet. Okay. That would be our day 1 homework. Now you can take one of these rituals in lieu of the Brahma Muhurta that you're going to be dropping. Everybody who's based in India, you can pick whether you want to go for a walk, whether you want to sip on hot herbal tea, you can pick one of this or anything that calls to you. Okay. And then no hard rules here. You pick one thing that you feel absolutely excited about by the end of today. And you say, I want to just try that. And then we are going to every day meet and tell about our experience, our challenge, what we liked, what we did not like. The 7-day challenge is for us to stay accountable. Okay? All right, my dear. Set 4. We are in the halfway mark. Next thing is we took care of our heart, we took care of our gut. So through this sequencing, we know what are the most important organs for the body. Number one is the heart. Number two is the gut. And number three was what? Number three was the mouth, the teeth. Number three, this is where we eat from. Number four are our sense organs. Now we are talking about our sense organs. So if you have to give somebody love, a child love, what do? You love it first. You nourish its heart first. Then, as a mother, we nourish the child's gut. A lot of mothers, what we do? Khana. Because it's easy to do. We don't ask the child, how are you, my dear? How is your heart? How are you feeling? How was your day? Heart first. Then the gut. Then the mouth. Did you eat? Right? Then talk about who did you meet? What movie did you watch? How was your day? Did you go to the museum? Did you do your homework? Sense organs. Okay? You see the sequencing of what is important? This is the beauty of Ayurveda. It tells us what is essential. It gives us a very practical blueprint of becoming successful humans. When we meet as girlfriends in a group, next time you have a brunch get together, ask about each one's feelings. How are you feeling? If you feel weird saying, how is your heart? I ask, how is your heart? I have no problem. But if you feel weird, ask about the emotional state. Check the temperature of each person's emotional state. Then talk about food. Okay? All right. Now we are going to talk about our eyes. From this, we know of all the sense organs, which one is the boss? Our eyes. We apply something called as anjana or kajal in our eyes. Kajal is a black residue that we produce by burning Ayurvedic herbs in ghee or in sesame oil. I used to watch my mother prepare this when I was little because I come from an Ayurvedic family. And she would make it with bhringraj. Bhringraj, she would soak cotton in bhringraj juice and she would dry it in shade over several days. And then she would use that wick in ghee and catch the smoke on a pit of a banana stem. Like she would cut the pith of the banana stem. So the banana that is dying, that is no longer going to be giving any more bananas, she would chop it up and she would take the pith. She would hold this above the fire. And then this pith would collect that smoke. And then she would scrape that smoke and add just a tiniest bit of ghee to that. And it would be like a small amount. But then we would apply it every day. We would apply this anjana, this kajal in our eyes. And when we do this, our eyesight is going to be better. I used to be premature born. So I've always had problems with my eyes. So my mother would make this for me and make sure that I was putting this in my eyes every day. So you can get a kajal from an Ayurvedic company. I will share the name of the Ayurvedic company. This is a company called Shri. They have a very good, authentically Ayurvedically manufactured kajal, which is like medicine. I only trust them. So I will drop their link. It's up to you. Buy it, don't buy it. But for my clients who live in America and who cannot get this, I tell them to use ghee. So what do? We take just a little smidge, just a tiny bit on our either the pinky or the ring finger. Why do we use the ring finger or the pinky finger? Because we are used to using a lot of pressure with our pointy finger and our middle finger. We are used to grasping things. So we may apply undue pressure on our eyes. So we use our pinky or we use our little ring finger, we open up our eyes, we open the waterline, and just very gently apply a tiny bit of ghee. The last time I did this challenge, people like put a ton of ghee in their eyes and they're like, I can't see. Why are we doing this? So if we took too much ghee, you've not done it the right way. Just need a little bit, just like you would apply kajal. Okay. And we're going to do this in the morning. Why? Because our eyes are lipidophilic. There's a lot of oil. Our eyes have a lot of oily parts in them, right? I come from a fish eating culture and we eat just like the brain, we eat the eyes as well because the eyes are very delicious. Some of you may be grossed out, but the eyes have a lot of, it's very fatty. Yeah, it's very delicious. If you grew up in Singapore, in Thailand, they also have that same culture. So our eyes love lipids. So our eyes will love ghee, and ghee has so many medicinal properties. So we're going to do this as we go through our challenge. One day we're going to do this as well. Okay. And a lot of my clients, a lot of you included, when you wake up, you are going to start doing what? Come and open the laptop, look at the phone. So in Ayurveda, there is a saying that if you look at shiny, small objects for a long time, you are going to lose the faculty of eyesight. And we always are looking at this shiny, small object. We are always trying to read. We are all destroying our eyesight. When I was little, I was doing a lot of computer work and I always had eye issues because I was premature born. So my optometrist, when I went to the optometrist for the first time, I was like 16 and I was already like working hard on projects and assignments and stuff. And he was like, I think I'm going to be a millionaire because I foresee that in future, everybody's going to have eyesight problems because the computers were just coming and the computers were like just being popularized. So he was like super happy. He said, first came TV, now comes computer. Everybody's eyesight is going to be gone and I'm going to be a very rich man. And I always think of him every year I go to the optometrist and spend thousands of dollars. So we have to also do this at nighttime because we all look at these devices. So at night, before we go to sleep, we apply a little anjana. And when we wake up in the morning, we apply a little anjana. This will make the whites of the eyes white. And this will also, it's not that it is cosmetic. The eyes start to get yellow when there is excess pitta in the eyes, when the metabolism is a little off, when the eyesight is a little off, when the liver is not doing so well. So when the eyes are burning and not feeling good, they are feeling like a little yellowish, that means our liver is not doing so well. You see the connection? And when the liver starts to get balanced, because we are doing these dinacharya rituals and you're applying anjana, we can either change the liver to get better and then change the eyes. We can even change the eyes and help the liver get better because this is a feedback loop. Everything in the body is a feedback. Okay. Next comes nasal oiling. Nasal oiling is applying 1 drop of nasya in your nose. So there are 2 nasal oils. One is Anutaila, 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 and the other one is Shad Bindu Taila. So if you are sensitive and you don't like anything weird or uncomfortable, don't use Anutaila. I would request you to order either Anutaila or Shad Bindu Taila, SHAD BINDU, Bindu, like the name Bindu. Okay, Shad Bindu Taila. Put 1 drop each in your nostrils. This we do after we put kajal in our eyes, kohl in our eyes. What are we doing? We are starting to balance the energies that were out of whack at night. In the night, we saw dreams. Our eyes we had REM sleep. Eyes were moving, right? Rapid eye movement was happening. So in the morning, we have calmed them down with a little ghee or kajal, Ayurvedic kajal, the one which I'm going to share with you. So everybody, please send me a text message. So I know that. Just tell me your name and that you are in the Dinacharya webinar, and I am going to add you to the WhatsApp group so that we can continue the challenge. Okay. And I can offer you resources there and we can check in with each other. So now we've balanced the eyes. Now all the imbalanced kapha has gone, all the imbalanced energy has gone into the nose and the mouth. Now what are we going to do? We are going to apply nasya, 1 drop each. So we've already washed our face, brushed our teeth and everything. So the facial energies are now moving. So we just take the dropper, 1 drop each in each nostril, and then we slowly massage our sinuses so that it goes into these bones here will start to absorb it. So the nose is the gateway to the brain. If I am applying any kind of medication inside my nose, it is going to go straight to my brain. The only thing that is stopping it is the ethmoid bone, which kind of sits between our skull, the base of the skull, and the top of our palate. So when we insert these 1 drop of nasya each, we're going to be very careful. We're not going to do more than 1. Okay. Some of us may have deviated septums, which means that the passage is not straight away. So what we have to do is we have to snort. As soon as we apply the oil in, if you have been diagnosed with a deviated septum, please do not put the drop in. Instead, use your pinky finger and apply it inside your nose. Just take the drop in your pinky, apply it inside. So it's not going straight away. Otherwise, what will happen? This will go straight into your lungs and it can cause infection. And in children, that can be fatal. Okay. For us adults, it's not. The body will take care of it. But even for some sensitive adults, it can be a problem if you are in like the 60 plus, 70 plus crowd. Okay. So if you are anytime doubtful, if your instinct says no, don't go for it. Always honor your instinct. Your instinct is your guru. Take it on your pinky finger, just rotate it inside your nose. If you feel that's gross, if you don't want your children to watch it, then take it in an earbud, dip your earbud with that, and then apply it inside your nose. Okay. Now, this is going to open up the sinuses. This is going to relieve your headaches in time. This is going to take away the puffiness of your eyes. This is going to keep your mind sharp and focused for those morning meetings. This is going to help you sleep deeper. The goodness that comes out of doing nasya, books cannot fill it. It's that much. I do this diligently whenever I am flying. Whenever I am doing long distance flight, I take my nasya oils because I hate to feel that dry feeling in my nose. If I've forgotten my nasya oil, what I'll do is I usually have like organic lip balms. I use my lip balm. I just apply it thoroughly inside my nose. I go to the bathroom. This is the disgusting thing I do so that my nose is going to be protected. I am not going to be in a vata state because this is protecting my brain from having vata as well. It is going to calm my system down. Okay. Now we balance the eyes. We balance the nose. All the imbalance of energies are in our mouth. Now we need to remove this. What are we going to do? We are going to do oil pulling. When we woke up, we did all kinds of imbalancing things. Brushing, walking. These are all movements that create vata. Now we are calming and making sure our body is calm and relaxed before we rev up to start our day. Okay. Oil pulling. We do it's with something called as Arimedadi oil. Arimedadi. The oil is right here. This one is from White. Okay. I will send a picture or a link to this. It's up to you. Everybody who's in India, it's easy to buy. In America, it'll take us a few days if you order on Amazon or on Instacart. These are the two sites that I trust. 1 tablespoon in the mouth, swish, swish for about 5 to 10 minutes if you're in a hurry, 15 to 20 minutes if you have health issues like gingivitis, plaque, cavities, heart disease, diabetes, any kind of inflammation, any kind of arthritic issues, any kind of diagnosed chronic issues, we must do it for 15 to 20 minutes. If you don't want to get arimedadi, if you have any chronic issues, highly recommended. If you don't want to do this and you're perfectly all right, just want to balance your mouth and make sure your teeth are white, your gum is healthy, your breath is fresh, this is amazing for that. You are going to use sesame oil, not the roasted sesame oil, raw organic sesame oil. I have had clients tell me that their long time anxiety has resolved by using this because the brain, remember the brain. All right, my dears, we're going to talk about set number 5 now. The next set is bathing rituals. We did the cleansing ritual for the face. Now we're going to do the bathing rituals. Our first ritual is abhyanga, oiling the body. And I have the oil right here. I like to use almond oil because it is very cold here and my skin is very vata or very dry. Almond oil is very good for vata skin. So I am always using this. It is one of the most important rituals in Ayurveda. If you walked out of this workshop and you were like, I don't know what Salila was talking about, I am not interested, or you slept through the entire time, and if you are awake only for this segment, this is it. This is right in the middle. And if you don't do anything after the 7-day challenge and you're like, Salila, this whole thing is bunk, I don't want to do this, this is a waste of my time, but I'm going to do Abhyanga, I will still say, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, thank you. This is the best thing you can do for yourself. Why is this so amazing? Because our skin is the biggest, largest organ in the body. Just as our colon and just as our urethra from where we pee, our skin is the next biggest area from where we are eliminating. If we have not experienced sweating in a very long time, when was the last time we experienced sweating? If you could please, I don't want to put you in a spot. If you don't want to say it, it's okay. But tell me, when was the last time you had a sweat going? I had a sweat going last month. When was the last time you had a nice sweat going?
This month, July first week, when I was in India.
Oh, perfect. All right. Anybody else? Can't remember, right? Yeah. Yeah. When we cannot remember when I last had a good sweat, it means we are dealing with some kind of chronic issue with our body. It's building. So, anyone who's not had a sweat, first assignment of the day, find the nearest sauna, drink at least 2 liters of water in the 4 hours before you get into the sauna. Don't drink it at once. Drink it like 500 ml, 500 ml, 500 ml warm water. Go sit in the sauna for 15 minutes till you sweat rivers. And make this a habit because it's just as bad as constipation. We worry when we are constipated and we've not had a bowel movement for 3 days. If we don't sweat for 3 days, we are like, oh, great. I'm not smelly anymore. I'm not sweating like a pig anymore, right? I used to be so worried about sweat in my 20s. Like a little bit of sweat and I'm like, oh my God, body odor, body odor. Now I'm like, yes, sweat. Let me sweat like a horse. I don't care who minds it. This is my body being healthy, right? Okay, so the word for skin is twak, means that which needs to be touched to be healthy. How many of us women are hugged or touched even in lovemaking. Right? We're all adults here, not many. Not even in the most loving things. It's only on TV, on like movies and stuff, we see that. Right? We are all in a hurry to get to the next thing. So when we apply oil in a loving stroke all over our body, we are giving that love to our own self. Abhyanga is the most self-loving thing we can do because we are directly taking sneha, love, and applying it all over our body, head to toe. There is not a place we are not going to put this oil, even in the place where sun doesn't shine. Everywhere, we're going to thoroughly put it. Especially for my pregnant clients, I tell them the perineal region, the vulval region, the anal region, all that region has to be applied very well. It has to be like, if you can apply like a generous amount and keep it on for 45 minutes in the beginning, and we will do that during the challenge, it's golden. The saints, the Ayurveda art would test they would test this on cadavers to see how long it took. So a lot of people will say, "Oh, Ayurveda is pseudoscience. It's woo-woo. It's this and that." No, Ayurveda is science. Just like our ancients wrote mathematical theories and scientific theories, they wrote Ayurveda from the same mindset. They would check. They would collect cadavers from the Gangaji and things like that, or people who died in wars, and they would use their body to do tests. They would apply body on the skin. They knew that there were 7 layers of the skin, right? And then they would see that it took exactly 4 minutes, 6 seconds for the essence of that oil to reach the marrow of the bone. So it nourishes even the marrow tissue. And what does the marrow tissue do? It produces new blood, it produces stem cells. So when we are nourishing our body with the oil, we are literally rehauling the entire body. So it takes about, I think, 160 days for all the cells in the body to be redone. And when we are applying oil on the body, after 160 days, every cell is at its maximum nourishment. The bone cell, the hair cell, everything. So when we start doing Abhyanga, applying oil in the hair, the feet, the hands, the nabi, the soles, the eyes, the ears, everywhere, every part of the body is getting rejuvenated. And in about 160 days, which is about 4 months, when you look at your hair, when you pull your hair and see, you will see that your hair is much stronger. Your skin is much more better. You barely have any wrinkles. All your fine lines are gone, right? So no matter where you start, Ayurveda gives us that tools, the equipment to create a new, more energy giving, more healthy body. It gives us the tools and the tips. Okay? If you are a kapha body type, if you already have an oily body, then what you should do is you should use something light like almond oil. However, if you're very dry skinned, if you need, I'm not so dry skinned as I started off. So now I use the almond oil. But when I started doing this in the beginning, I used to use sesame oil, which is a much more denser oil. Castor oil, much more denser oil, very sticky, dense, lots of nutrition. Yeah. So that's the kind of oil you're going to use. If you have drier the skin, the stickier, the thicker the oil. Yeah, leave it on for 45 minutes to start off. But for your daily use, even 7 minutes is okay. Even 10 minutes is okay. Okay. Yeah. Then we do some kind of yayama. I have clients who tell me that their poses have gone so deeper, their body is so flexible. Even I am not able to do that because I need to jump into calls right away. But those who are able to do this, and I always take a month off during the year and I'm going to go to Bali and I'm going to do this. I am going to apply oil on my body and make sure that I do my vyayama with a slightly oily body so that my poses can become deeper. My body can become more energized. So I have a picture of a client to share in our group. She borrowed a sweatshirt from her husband and she wore like an old pair of pants, and then she does her Surya Namaskaras. And she would struggle to do 3 Surya Namaskaras. Now she does nearly 20 Surya Namaskaras. And she says, my body feels so good. And I'm going so deep into each one of it. She used to have issues stretching her hips because there was a lot of trauma. But now my hips are doing wonders. Okay. And I'll share the post in the group when we make the group. Okay. Next thing, Asana is applying any kind of herbal mask on our body. So you can either make this by yourself, and I will share recipe in our group once we make the group, or you can get an Ubutan, a simple besan, turmeric, little rose powder or rose water is adequate to cleanse that oil from your body. For Ayurveda, Partana is a soap, it's a mask, it's a serum, it's an exfoliator, and it's a nourisher. It's all of this all at once. So we don't need to use 5 different products. Like I need to clean with a soap, I need to apply a body lotion, then I need to apply a stuff on my problem areas, then I need to apply something else to make my skin look good. No. I need to exfoliate my skin. No. For Ayurveda, it's all like one shot. One shot, one and done. This will cleanse your pores of any bad bacteria, any odor-causing bacteria. This will remove that excess oil. This will nourish your skin. And this will also make sure that the cellular regeneration is happening. So you don't have to exfoliate at a salon. This is going to make your bathroom messy. So try and do this either like on a towel or in the backyard or in the balcony if there's nobody looking at you, or in a private space in your home. The best thing to do this would be in sunlight before 11 a.m. would be just amazing, because your body will then, with the oiling and the receiving of the sunlight, your body will make all the vitamins it needs to keep your bones healthy. All right, my dears. Then comes this complete 6th set. Now, I wanted to talk about food next, because food is very important. The way we eat is no longer aligned to either the circadian rhythm or the intelligence of our body, because we are all on schedule, right? We are all on other people's schedule, and we say, okay, 12 o'clock, I need to start now cooking or start eating by 1. Children are going to come from school, things like that. Or I have a meeting, I have this specific 50 minutes in between, let me throw something together and make a meal. Okay. Whenever we eat, we are also eating in a lot of hurry. So we are not eating a balanced meal. And for many of the people, almost 90% of the people, what is a balanced meal is a question now. They're not very sure what a balanced meal is, right? Some of us come from families where there was a experience of famine or an experience of lack. So the way our grandmothers and mothers cooked was not adequate enough to give us the good idea of what healthy meals look like. I had a client and I would ask her what her breakfast was, and she would say, oh, I have dosa. I have a very healthy South Indian dosa breakfast. And I was like, great, dosa breakfast. It's very healthy. It's very rounded. Everything is great. But then I was like looking at her health and I was like, what is going on? Something is not feeling good, or something is not feeling right. And then I was like, what do you really eat with your dosa? And she said, we eat salt and chili powder with our dosas. And I said, what? She said, yeah, this is how is this how your grandmother made? She said, yeah, this is how my grandmother used to make. She would make dosa and we would have with salt, chili powder, and a little bit of sesame oil. This was our breakfast. And that's when I realized that for many people, irrespective of where they are economically today, there are many habits that are carrying forward from their past generations. And if there was a time of lack in the family, those habits of lack, of wartime deprivation, have been carried forward. So, in a house where there is abundance, dosa would always be had with a big bowl of hearty sambar made with lentils and all kinds of gourds and beans and vegetables with the tadka of hing. Why? Vatanulomana. Lots of good vegetables, savory food, protein in the dosa, protein in the idli, protein and carbs in the right ratio, 1:3 ratio, perfect ratio for our body to accept it. The sambar would be somewhat 1:3 ratio, so the body can absorb it. You see, some homes, the sambar will be very thin. Some homes, it will be nice and thick and hearty. These are all difference in abundance, the availability. Our ancestors did what they could do, right? If you go to some shops that are very stingy, you will see very thin sambar with almost nothing. Shops that are doing well, they will have nice and hearty sambar. Then there would be some podi. So podi is, for the North Indians here, podi is like powder of lentils. Original protein powder with lots of sesame oil so we can digest it. Because oil is agneya. It creates agni. It does agni deepana. It kindles the fire in the body. So instead of just salt and chili powder, it would be filled with nice hearty lentils. So when we eat that, we are getting nourishment. Then there will be a coconut chutney or a peanut chutney or a sesame chutney or a poppy seed chutney, right? Depending on where we are with these kind of grain, lentil, steamed breakfast in the morning. Hearty protein is being served, right? Lots of fiber is being served. Now we see and we say, this is a complete food. Let's look at how a complete food looks like. Every time we eat, we must make sure that we are eating whole grains, vegetables, at least 5 to 8 vegetables in a day. So we're going to try and do that. Okay? Legumes and lentils, at least 1 cup of legume and lentil. We're going to measure 1 cup and keep it on our counter for the next day and say, I am going to eat this. Up to you to divide it into 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, 3 different cups. If you're very fancy and you have time and help, absolutely go for it. But I don't have time, so I just measure 1 cup and I say, okay, this is what I'm eating tomorrow. Okay? It will balloon up into 2.5 cups. So we are going to divide it between our breakfast and lunch to eat that. Okay? And then spices, nuts, oils, seeds. We need all this, and also fruit. I don't know how I missed fruit here, but also fruit required. At least 2 to 4 fruit in a day. If we've not eaten all of this, then we have not done justice to this sacred body. We have not nourished this sacred body. Is anyone able to see that there is room for improvement? There is room for improvement even in my diet. Life gets busy. I get caught up. I get drawn. I have friends and family visiting. So they'll be here any moment after 10 o'clock to pick me up. It's going to be a crazy day of eating out and having fun. But tomorrow, when I start the challenge, I'm going to be with you. Okay? Or remedies. The next thing we need to make sure is there is 3-hour spacing between our meals. And the next thing is there is at no more than 6 hours spacing. Okay? Many people, they think that intermittent fasting is amazing. Intermittent fasting, when the sun starts to go down and waking up in Brahma Muhurta and then eating within 2 hours of waking up, that is healthy. Our body is supposed to eat some small breakfast. After we drink the hot water, make sure you are eating something within 2 hours to kindle that fire. It could be a small thing, but not a raw fruit. Especially not a raw banana, not a ripe banana. If you must eat, boil that banana. Okay? Something cooked, 1 cup of something, a poha, a kheer, a chila, a porridge. Okay? Something like that. A visnan. Could be buckwheat, quinoa, a smoothie. I like to make smoothies these days. I just boil sweet potato smoothie. Just sweet potatoes, some dates, and a splash of boiled milk or any vegan milk if you're vegan. Okay? toss it together, make a cup of smoothie. Especially, I love it as a mom. I'm driving the kids, I'm taking busy with the kids. Sip, breakfast is done. Okay, this is a very good breakfast. Making sure that after that, I look at my watch and I say, okay, I ate my breakfast at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I should start having my lunch by then. Let's say 8 o'clock, I ate my breakfast. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 6 hours, danger zone. If we have not eaten till 2, not a good thing. Our fire is not going to be happy. We are going to develop deficiencies. 3, you cross the boundary. You're in red zone. You did not take care of your body. So, any time between the 3rd hour to the 5th hour, we are in the safe zone to have a good, hearty meal consisting of vegetables, legumes, lentils, spices, nuts, oil, seeds. And in between, we snack on those fruit. For fruit, it's okay. We can eat fruit up to an hour and a half after eating. So if we ate lunch at 1, we can eat fruit at 3. Not a problem. Okay? Because fruits will digest very quickly. And then after eating, we wash our face, eyes, hands, feet, mouth. Why? Because we are breaking the day into sections and saying, I am slowing down. I am doing these all my sense organs have been sensing, watching things, reading things, somebody's throwing a report at you, you're in a meeting, you're doing a PowerPoint, or if you're home, you're organizing things, you have to go pick up the kids. People want things from you, there's demands on your time. This washing is like cleanse, realign, re-energize. Take that few minutes to bring yourself to center. If you want to take a shower, go take a shower at this time. Okay? A quick shower, refresh. Now you're ready. Okay? This can be done even after go for a sauna, go for a workout, go to the gym, do a 1 hour of gymming. Do this perfectly all right. Okay? In the morning can be a short duration of 50 jumping jacks, 50 jump in place, 50 twists in place, 10 lunges, 3 Surya Namaskars. That can be something quick, especially if you're a mom, you have demands, you have meetings that are immediately starting, you can do that. And in the afternoon, you come and do like a longer gym session and then you take a shower. So you're doing this. Okay. Now we come to the final, our nighttime rituals. We started with the day. We sent our ship out in the world. Now our ship has come home. How do we love this ship so that it goes to sleep? 1, we are going to opt for a early dinner. So Ayurveda says that when we have sunset, we do not eat as the sun is setting. We do not do anything as it is something we call as Sandhikala. It is the time of transition. Sandhikala is a time of weakness. Sure, if you know of mythology or mythological stories, the story of Narasimha killing Hiranyakashipu, the demon, it was during a Sandhikala, Sandhya, evening. It was in the chaukhad, in the parapet. It was the doorway. It's neither outside nor inside, neither day nor night. Because these are the times when the body is weak, when the body is imbalanced, when the body will get imbalanced if we do something. So these are the times we do not sleep, we do not eat, we do not make love, we do not study. Instead, we think of God, which is why we Sanatana Dharma followers have Sandhya Vandana as a tradition, as a ritual. This is the time we take all the family, we gather the family and we say, let's do Sandhya Vandana. Because this is the time for remembering God. Because for many of us, this is the time, if we do stuff, it is going to cause disease in the body. So this is the time we think of God. So when this demon, I forget the name of the demon, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu was given that vardhan. You are not going to be killed by a man or a beast. You're not going to be killed in the day or the night. You're not going to be killed in the outside or the inside. And Hiranyakashipu was like, yay, lottery. I'm not going to be dead. I can just go around and do whatever. No. This is a metaphor for us. Don't think that because we have this body, we can do whatever. These are the points of weakness where things can strike us immediately. Which is why, if we are lingering in doorways, grandmas would scold us because these are points of weakness. If we are doing stuff in the Sandhya Kala, we would get scolded by our elders. And we would say, these are nasty elders. They never like anything we do, right? But this is why they would say. Even they probably did not know the meaning, poor things. We have love towards them and we say thank you. Now we understand why. Okay. So dinner time should be within the first 3 hours of sunset. Let's go look up our sunset time. Sunset in my region. See how we are aligning ourselves to the circadian rhythm. Now, when we have our group, then you will share your sunset time. Mine is 8:26. So for me, because it's summer and this is daylight savings, it is later than the time. It should not look so late. So ideally, it should be somewhere around 7-ish at the max. So I eat my dinner by 10 max. The earlier I eat it, it's better. So because the government has messed with my time, I will eat my dinner earlier, like 5 or 6. Okay. But let's say your sunset time is like 6:30. You can eat your dinner at 7:30. But no later than 9:30, which is 3 hours. If your sunset is at 6, no later than 9, which is a reasonable time. Okay. If you eat later than 9, you will create disease in the body. But these are messed up times because the governments have changed our times, right? So we try and eat either before Sandhya Kala or immediately after Sandhya Kala is done. We prepare our dinner and start eating, right? As soon as twilight falls in the villages, all the chulas will start to burn. I was in the village in Agra last year, and as the sun set, every house, the smoke started to come up because all the women started to cook, right? So these are the beautiful ways we are reminded that we are supposed to live in sync and rhythm with nature. After we've eaten our dinner, we're going to settle down a little bit. We're going to sit for about 10 minutes for that food to settle. Then we are going to do something called as taking 100 steps. It's not a big walk. It is a small walk. You can literally walk 10 times across your kitchen and your living room and you will hit this target. But if you walk out, it's about 1 round around your house. It's better to take it outside so you again get that fresh ambrosial air of the night where it's calm down, settle down. It will help you go to sleep. It will rebalance your mind, right? Because we are constantly in these artificial lights. It's good to be out getting that moonlight. Just like we get sunlight, we should get moonlight. This is something I actually teach my clients who have insomnia. And I have clients who've had insomnia for months. And I tell them to take sunlight and moonlight. And that's what helps them rebalance their circadian rhythm. Okay. This is also a good time. If you notice in small towns and stuff, like I went to visit my family in Bhopal when I was little, and everybody would go for a walk in the evening. That was the time. Every house would be empty because everybody would have dinner and then go for a walk, get ice creams, which is great. We are gathering together, get chaat papodi, which is okay. The walking is the good part. Everybody is gathering, walking. So that was so delightful to watch them carrying forward this ancient habit of walking. If you are out in a village, literally everybody would walk, gather, talk, settle down, and then go back to sleep. Before going to sleep, what you're going to do is using that oil, sesame, almond, coconut. If coconut is melted and room temperature where you are, you will apply this on the soles of your feet, not on the top of your feet, on the soles of your feet. You can apply it on the top if you like. Top is good for cosmetic, but for Ayurveda, for balancing your energies, for keeping it inside your body, soles of your feet. Because the soles of the feet are connected to literally every organ in the body. The toe is actually connected to our womb. This is why Indian women wear toe rings, because this is connected to the health of the womb. Every time these toes are being pressed, our womb is being stimulated. And in Kama Sutra, it is said that a woman whose toes are moving inward, her womb will also move inward. By looking at a woman's toes, you can tell about the shape of her womb. Isn't this fascinating? The toe, the feet, the right in the middle of the feet is one of the major marmas of the body, which is going to keep the body healthy. Okay. So look at your feet, look at the arch of the feet, and press the center of your feet. This is one of the major marmas of the body. So press, release. So press, even this is a major marma, center of the hand. Press, release. Press, release. And this will heal your body. This will help your body settle down. Pull each toe, massage each toe as you're doing oil massage. Okay? I'm gonna show you my feet. Sorry. So pull each toe. Make sure you twist them so that your womb is activated. And some of you who are sensitive will feel it in the womb. If you're having problem with your periods not coming, you can press this nail bed right here. If you press the nail beds, it will activate your periods. It's that powerful. Okay? And then applying the soles of the feet completely with oil. So your soles are nicely covered. You can use socks to wear, but some oil is going to escape. Your bed sheets are going to get a little bit oily. So I like to keep a towel right there so it can catch it. But I've been doing these for nearly 10 years now. All my bed sheets have problem. So I'm warning you. When you wash your bed sheets, because you are oiling your body so much, your bed sheets, your stuff is going to be oily. Use sodium hydroxide, use baking soda, add a cup of baking soda to your wash. And with that, we have completed on time. We're going to stay for another 5-10 minutes to discuss. If there's any doubt, please remember to share your WhatsApp numbers with me. I will create your group. I'm going to stop sharing. Now let me know how this was, what you learned, what you wish I will share more in the coming days. Go ahead. Yes, Shraddhaji.
It was a very good session. Nobody of us can even tell that we are here for 3 hours. I didn't get bored even for a minute. Otherwise, I'm a little restless for all the sessions. I had one quick question about oiling the body and hair and everything. With the oiling, can I keep oil in my hair or I have to wash it off every day?
It's better to wash it off, because if you have any kind of pain in the neck, any kind of sinus issues, if you're somebody who catches colds very fast, then keeping hair oil in the hair is going to aggravate all that, because oil can increase kapha.
Okay, so every day I have to wash my hair.
Yes. And if you can, I can give you a shampoo recipe which is very simple. Amla, Rita, Shikakai. This we can use every day. It is not going to strip our hair of precious oils. It's going to keep our hair healthy.
My mom uses this and I'm very lazy to use this because it smells also like little weird at times.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a single gray even now. I have grays and
Yeah.
she has jet black hair.
Amazing. We've got to meet your mom. Are you also in Pune? You're in Pune, right?
She lives I'm in Pune, she lives in Kolhapur, but she's never used shampoo on her hair. Never
Yeah.
ever.
Amazing.
The-
I'm coming to Pune in September. So I would love to meet your mom if she's visiting you at that time, because these are the
Yes.
examples we need to share with the world. Like the people who are doing living Ayurveda. They are our role models. And these are the people absolutely want to touch their feet and say, thank you for keeping it alive for us. We come to us only when we've gotten thuppards by life.
True that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, my dear. Any other questions?
Salina ji, yes, one quick question. So, up until now, right? I think I've looked into your Instagram posts and all. So generally we do oil pullings first and then do the brushing and the scraping. But as per Dinacharya, it looks like you brush, scrape, and then do the oil pulling. So
That
it's
is the
doing the this is the right order, is it?
correct order. You can mix
Okay.
it up if you're in a hurry. I do
Mhm.
all the time.
Okay.
But I made this for people who are sick.
Mhm.
You have to be very particular about the order. Because if you have eye health issues and if you
Okay.
put the order wrong, then
Mhm.
it's going to aggravate. And I had
Okay.
eye health issues.
Okay. Okay.
You have anxiety. If you do the order wrong,
Mhm.
even like stuff like people will show on Instagram when they are applying oil to their hair, they will do this and they'll do thup. These are all marmas. You cannot do thup thup here. It is going to increase anxiety. It's going to create mental illness. So some of the reels I see, I want to shake my head. Like, yeah, I wish I had a career just making reels. There's enough material to make for the rest of my life.
Okay. So when I use the Ayurveda every tandem, it's actually bitter. So after the oil pulling, what do you recommend? Like you just swish your mouth and just leave it be, or do we again do any brushing or something?
Great question. We rinse it with hot water. You can rinse it with
Okay,
well, just to get it out.
okay, okay.
Yeah, because it's all that residual dead bacteria.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Thank you, Ji.
Absolutely. Palak, Palakji, no questions? Any observation, any feedback? I'm absolutely willing to hear your feedback as well. Anything you want me to do differently next time we meet?
You should check the tongue after you brush the teeth. And when we use tooth powders, the color does come on the tongue, right? So I was just wondering if we should check before we brush the teeth,
That's a great point.
because
Yes.
there's some brown color that definitely the tongue will catch.
Yes, definitely. If your tooth powder is colored, definitely check your tongue. Yeah. That's a
Beautiful.
good observation. Thank you. Palak, anything that you want to share?
No questions. I just wanted to share that I have started putting sesame oil on my feet, top, sole, both of them.
Hmm?
And I'm having the softest feet, like
Oh, nice.
cosmetic wise. And I use a cloth, like a cotton cloth that I keep just to take the excess off. And sleep has gotten better. It's very grounding for me personally. And after I have oiled my feet and sometimes I do a little bit of leg as well if oil is left in my
Why not?
hand. And then I would just lay, if you can see the wall at the back, that's my bed. So I just lay with my legs up 90 degrees with the support of the wall, and I stay there for 5-10 minutes and then go to bed.
Amazing, amazing. You're doing it all right. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, you're starting way ahead than I started in my life. I wish I had found Ayurveda in my 20s. Thank you so much, my lovely, beautiful community, beautiful souls. I wish you a wonderful rest of the evening, rest of the night, rest of the morning.